Oh, hi. It's been a while. I have been taking a bit of a break from content making to focus on a few different things. Number one, I've been getting ready to stream a lot more on Twitch, twitch.tv/turtlesforreal if you want to go follow me. And then also setting up my Discord server. There is a link in the description below if you'd like to join that. But also I've been really attempting to get back into the groove of editing videos. There's a couple that are in my backlog right now that I have yet to actually edit, but we're getting there. I'm figuring it out. It'll get better soon, I hope. Luckily for me, my parents decided to take a 10-day trip to Africa recently, and prior to them going, we'd agreed that I would edit together a vlog for them or a video similar to the ones that I did when we were in England. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Go watch those videos if you haven't yet. This is my mom, Susan, and my dad, Rick.
Jumbo!
For most of this video, it's going to be them talking about their trip and their experiences and how they were feeling while they were there. But I will be coming in occasionally to make fun of them, ask them questions, all kinds of good stuff. I will say, even as someone who wasn't there myself, this video was so much fun to edit, and I really am excited to show you what they were able to capture. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy Bandits and Bookworms, My Parents Went to Africa edition. We started off on Wednesday, May 21st, with me driving them to the airport. Their route to Africa was circuitous, taking a total of 38 hours. They'd start in Austin, landing in Chicago for just over 2 hours, then heading across the Atlantic to Frankfurt, where they'd have an 8-hour layover, then hopping on a flight to Ethiopia with a layover of 4.5 hours, then reaching Kilimanjaro, after which they would be driven to Arusha, where they would finally have a chance to sleep. By the time they'd arrive, they'd be 2 days removed from when they left Austin. We'd left with enough time to get them there 3 hours early, because for the first time, they would be traveling with a pre-approved visa and were unable to check in using an app. However, on our way there, we got some news.
I got a text about 20 minutes away from the airport that our flight had been delayed by about an hour. We had plenty of time in Chicago. We had a 2.5-hour layover, so no big deal.
And check-in went smooth, but because we had that visa thing to deal with, it took a little bit longer than usual. But fortunately, the attendant was very understanding. He actually had a pretty good sense of humor about it, and we were joking with him the whole time.
Once we were through TSA, we went to get some food, and I got another message. Our flight had been delayed yet again.
Now our connection was going to get really tight, and I was starting to get a little bit concerned.
At this point, they texted our family group chat all of the various things that were going on, and I was fully preparing to have to either pick them up from the airport again or drive my ass to Chicago so that I could get them.
Our flight was originally scheduled to take off at 5:35 p.m. Now it was scheduled to leave at 7:05 p.m., but however, it was
7:21 when we finally got into our seats and we finally started to take off.
In the meantime, we were checking our flight out of Chicago, and it was still on time, which meant our connection was going to be super tight.
As we boarded the flight, we did tell the flight attendant, look, we've got an international flight, and our connection is going to be really tight, so, if you could help us out there, it would really be great.
So the flight attendant did make an announcement as we were getting ready to get off the plane and asked the passengers to please let those of us with tight connections get off the plane first. And to our great pleasure, they listened, they wished us good luck, and we exited the plane and ran across the Chicago airport to make our connection.
At this point in the evening, because it's about 10:30 p.m. at this point in time, I am live streaming on Twitch, which, as mentioned before, is twitch.tv/turtlesforreal. Go follow if you want to follow some gaming content and stuff. When I got a text message of them on their plane looking a bit ragged, but happy that they have made their connecting flight, I did celebrate on stream with my chat. So for chat, Kira and I's parents are traveling to Africa right now. The flight coming in for them was delayed by 2 hours. They only had about an 1.5-hour layover. Maybe it was a 2-hour layover in Chicago. And they've delayed almost 90 minutes and literally had to run to their next flight so that they could make it. And they just texted us saying that they made it to their flight and they're on and everything, so. Huzzah. Oh, did you see Mom and Dad got on their plane? In Chicago?
Oh, no, but
they made it.
Good for them.
You would have never been able to know.
Smile, you're on camera. with an 8-hour layover in Frankfurt, we decided to simply try and chill and relax and maybe get a little bit of sleep between flights.
And we did find some lounge chairs, and so we hunkered down, and then a little bit later we got some food and went to catch our next flight.
While we're taking a bit of a break in Frankfurt, what types of expectations did you guys have for this trip? Was there anything that you were really looking forward to? Anything in particular that you wanted to do?
The main thing we wanted to do, of course, everybody who goes on a safari wants to see the Big Five.
What are the Big Five?
The Big Five are elephants and rhino and lions and leopard and
Cape Buffalo.
Oh
Yes.
my. I just like the lions and.
But some other expectations that we had too is how do they live there? We've never been to a country that wasn't westernized, and Tanzania is not westernized. So we were very curious. How do Tanzanians live?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we boarded our flight for Ethiopia. On the way to Ethiopia.
Yep. And then Tanzania.
One of the first things we noticed was the difference in the flight attendants' uniforms. The flight attendant on the right is wearing white for first class, and the flight attendant on the left was wearing the green for the economy.
For us peasants, an economy.
We were picked up at the airport in Kilimanjaro by our driver from Ranger Safaris. His name was Emmanuel. As we were headed out of the airport, he pointed out a terrific view of Mount Kilimanjaro.
The view was spectacular, just very gorgeous, at least if you like clouds.
Also noticed on the way there was a lot of road construction, and we also got to see the rules of the road were different.
In the United States, we're used to fencing along the road to keep the animals away from the road and that kind of thing. Not in Tanzania. It is completely wide open. It's free range.
There were lots of businesses on the way, stalls that sold different goods and arts and crafts. But then as we pulled through the hotel grounds, we were greeted by beautiful gardens, and we couldn't help but notice the difference between our hotel and the city that we'd just driven through.
The place that we stayed at was fantastic. It really was. The rooms, the grounds, everything about it. We knew we were in for a really special trip.
Yeah, we had delusions of grandeur of actually getting into the pool after our dinner, but no.
That was an adorable thought. How long had you guys been traveling by this point?
Over 40 hours. Yeah, but you shouldn't let that keep you from having fun.
Except that it totally did. We ate and went to bed at like 7:30 and we were done.
Which was good because the next day, the real adventure began.
This is Puce. He studied wildlife biology at university. He was third in Tanzania in math during secondary school, and based on the footage that I've seen of him and the fact that my parents are alive and well to tell this story today, knows his way around a 4x4.
He would be our driver, our historian, our wildlife biologist for the vast majority of the trip.
One of the things that always concerns me about going on an organized tour like this is getting to know your tour guide and have it be really, I don't know, awkward or stilted, you know what I mean? You're kind of in this professional atmosphere, but at the same time you're traveling together. And in this particular case, we haven't mentioned it yet, but you guys were alone with Puce. There was no other group. It was the two of you and Puce for the whole trip. So was it awkward getting to know him at all? Or did you guys feel comfortable right away? Or how did that go?
We didn't know it was going to be just the two of us. We had signed up for a private tour, but we didn't know exactly what that meant. And when we got there, it was surprising that it was just the two of us. But luckily, your dad can talk to most anybody at any time, and Puce is kind of the same way, so it did not take long before the three of us were getting along quite well.
Yeah,
it was completely comfortable. Literally by the time we got out of the hotel parking lot, no problems at all.
We have a lot of clubs.
Okay.
Yeah, sports clubs.
Okay.
And they jog to attract people joining in their clubs.
I see. Okay. Our first park was Tarangire National Park, where we would have a short game drive before reaching our lodge. On the way out of Arusha, we did see a few interesting things, one of them being Tanzania's largest art gallery, and we went by the Arusha airport, which happens to be near the prison. So as we were driving by, we could see prisoners who were near the end of their terms outside working in the fields.
When they say you're going to prison, they don't call it prison. They say you're going to flight school.
Oh, we also saw something that might be familiar to most of you, a sesame seed. After the seeds are harvested, they gather up the stalks and dry them out, and they use that as fire starter.
I don't think I've ever seen a sesame seed plant before this, and I don't know what I imagined them to look like, but it wasn't this.
It wasn't this for us either.
As we drove, we saw some of the Maasai tending to their livestock along the road. Hughes explained to us that the Maasai are one of the few tribes that still live the traditional way.
We'll get into that a little bit more later.
We also learned that they keep domestic camels for milk. We did not have any of that, however.
As their last stop before entering Tarangire National Park, they stopped at Lyons Cafe and Bakery at Puce's recommendation.
This is a very popular place for the guides to stop at.
Yeah, this is a coffee shop / rest area. The coffee was great and the food was great. Puce actually bought us samosa, or you might know it as samosa. He says it's a very common snack that you would have in Tanzania. It's a pastry that's filled with different savory foods, and ours happened to be filled with a combination of beef and onion.
It was Tanzanian deliciousness.
After that, we arrived at Tarangire National Park.
Tarangire National Park was established in 1970. It has a total area of roughly 1,100 square miles, and it's known for its enormous elephant herds.
Tarangire means river of warthogs, which was indicative of what animals would see fit to greet us.
These particular warthogs were right outside of the bathroom at the gate entrance.
When I was a young warthog.
And less than a mile inside the park gate, we saw giraffes for the first time.
Oh, look, there's one right there.
So what's going through your head at this moment in time?
I saw the giraffes and I thought, we're not in a zoo. We're in the wild. The giraffes are right there in front of us. They are walking across the road in their natural habitat. We are really in Africa.
That pretty much sums it up. I mean, we'd already seen warthogs. We'd already seen giraffes. It was really a foreshadowing of what was to come.
Of the animals they saw, they're all incredible, but I'm particularly partial to the dik-dik. Tiny deer, big eyes, it's like they stepped out of a fantasy world. You're encountering all of these different animals for the first time. Was there any encounter that left you feeling underwhelmed, or was it pretty much always magical?
I think it was always magical. We were in Africa. I mean, it's so strange to be driving along and, oh, there's an elephant. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, there's a giraffe. The most we get here in the States usually is, oh, there's a deer. And so
an armadillo here in Texas.
Here in Texas. Yeah. So seeing, a giraffe and an elephant just alongside the road as you're driving along. Yeah, it's always magical.
And it never got old. It never, ever got old. It was one of the most incredible trips we've ever been on. And the variety of animals we saw was spectacular. And we might talk about this a little bit later, but I got to tell you, this was the first trip that I got emotional when we left.
So all of your lodges, they were inside the parks, or was there any that were still outside the park?
Excluding Arusha, which was in the city, we had 4 other lodges. So 2 of the 4 were inside the parks, and animals have free range. There's no fencing, so any animal could be walking through the lodge grounds at any time. So in the dark, they do require you to have an escort. In fact, at Sopa Lodge, which was our first lodge here, When we got up in the morning, even though it was daylight, and we're making our way to the lodge, they had workers standing along all the paths, and they greeted you as soon as you came out of your room, and they walked you to the main lodge. So yeah, always there were people around watching out for animals.
But at the same time, just so that everybody knows, we never felt unsafe. We never did. Yes, you want to take some precautions, but we didn't have any issues at all.
No. In our hotel room, the first one at Sopa Lodge, there were no phones. So in case there was an emergency, there was literally a whistle hanging on the back of the door.
The pool area is where we had lunch every day at Sopa Lodge.
And as evidence of the animals being able to roam around, here are the hyrax just kind of hanging out.
These are hyrax, close relative of elephants.
This baobab tree was planted in 1995 as an example of their growth rate.
This smaller tree demonstrates how long it takes them to get that big. So this tree is 30 years old.
I'm taking your picture, so smile pretty. There you go. You wiggled so people can see you. Good job. Yep. Excellent job. They're so cute. The itty bitty deer. They're full grown. So we were going to continue walking up to, this point up here, and then there's another building that's kind of off to the left here. But then we ran across this sign. So we have decided to not do that. We shall obey the sign because I'm pretty sure it's there for a reason.
We don't want to end up dead.
So we headed out on our afternoon game drive, and we hadn't been out very long when we had our first close encounter with elephants, and there was a baby. So as we pulled up, our driver very quietly said to us, "Be cool." So we stood up. We were being very cool, and the elephants began to cross the road. And then another Land Cruiser pulled up beside us, and the people in that vehicle stood up. And one woman said, "Hey, oh my God, she has a baby!"
And of course, right then, the mom elephant was not impressed. You can see her shaking her head. Unfortunately, I didn't catch the first interactions that she had because she was really unhappy. But you can see here in this video that, yeah, she did not appreciate that at all.
And then finally, they move along the road and continue along their way.
Pro tip, listen to your guide.
You enjoyed
Just for the record, yes, we know there's a date stamp, and yes, we know it's showing the wrong date. My mom's camera settings were weird, and there they are. So you're gonna have to deal with that. Love you.
Earlier in the day, we had come across a Cape buffalo kill. The lions had killed it the previous day.
And as we were coming up, I happened to notice some movement in a tree.
Hughes pulled over and he got out his binoculars and he said, "Oh, it's a lion up in the tree." I am on full telephoto here when I take this shot, so that's how far away it was.
You can see the lioness panting. Puce explained to us that what's happening is she just ate so much meat that her stomach has been distended up into her lungs, and so that's all the lung capacity she has, so she has to take really shallow breaths. Puce refers to this as a meat hangover.
Monkeys playing. Oh, awesome. Yes, they're playing really good. Good play.
Our Sunday morning started with a game drive that had us up close and personal with 2 different herds of elephants. Our second encounter was one of the most memorable moments for us on the entire trip. For the record, in the clips you are about to see, I have not zoomed in at all. In fact, the animals appear further away than they actually were.
Those are all males. Wow. Mongoose. See him? See him moving around?
Hey, what's going on here?
I promise that's our last Lion King reference, but we had to do a couple. You know how it is.
One of the things that we really didn't get a lot of video of because they were so far away were the birds.
So, please enjoy this brief bird extravaganza.
Nobody wants your birds, Brennan. Please.
Something we haven't mentioned is that all of the lodges have a curfew. We're supposed to be back by 6:30 at the latest, and this particular evening we were running a little bit late, so Puce was driving us back post haste, but the sunset was so pretty, I had to do my best to get it.
This is Good Luck. Yes, that's his name. He was our primary server at Sopa Lodge.
The food here and everywhere was excellent. All the meals were also included in the cost of our trip. In this case, we were offered some choices for each of the different courses, all of which were extremely delicious. During dinner, there was a birthday celebration.
But in addition to the birthday, we also got entertained by the staff. They did an excellent job. It was really a treat.
Very similar to our drive into the lodge, we had a short game drive on our way out of the lodge, and then we were on our way to our next destination.
One of the birds that we didn't show you earlier was this little guy right here. This is a hammercop.
Hammercops are known for their large nests, which are frequently domed and can sometimes even be large enough to have rooms. The nests can weigh up to 22 kilos, or about 50 pounds, and they are the largest nests made by any bird species in Africa, even though the birds themselves are pretty small.
Something interesting we saw along the way were what we thought were abandoned homes. Puce, however, let us know that that's not what they are. Actually, what happens is people just save up enough money to build part of the house at one time.
For example, they'll save up enough money to build the foundation, then they'll wait a little while and save up more money to build walls, and then the roof, and then the windows. It takes them about 5 years to complete this process, but then the house is paid off, and you can build a house in Tanzania for between $10,000 to $15,000.
Or the equivalent in USD.
Yes. The villagers that live here are especially proud of the fact that their population consists of members of every Tanzanian tribe. That's over 100 tribes. They live here quite peacefully.
In fact, they're so proud of it that both Puce and El Feo mentioned it to us separately. Oh, by the way, El Feo, we meet later in the day.
Ntawambu, which is the name of the village, translates to Mosquito River. How bad were the mosquitoes, really? I know you guys started taking, at the recommendation of a pharmacist, actually, not even a requirement for your trip, but you started taking a malaria regimen. So how was the mosquito issue?
Yeah, well, malaria does exist in Tanzania, so, it was a concern. But when we got there, we did not see any mosquitoes. Well, I take that back. I saw two mosquitoes. One was actually on me and I squished it. The other one was actually in the mosquito netting that they put around our beds at night. There was one mosquito stuck in that one evening. That was it. Yeah, there were no other bugs.
Yeah. They did put mosquito netting around our beds and they sprayed for bugs every night. But bugs were not an issue at all whatsoever. But I will tell you that malaria is enough of an issue that one of our guides actually asked us, how do you deal with malaria in the United States? And he was shocked to find out that we don't have malaria here.
Yeah. Did every hotel spray for mosquitoes, or was it just was it just the netting in places, or what did that look like?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not sure everyone sprayed. Sopa Lodge specifically mentioned to us that they do spray, and they asked permission to do that. They made sure it was okay that they did that. None of the other hotels mentioned that they sprayed.
Kubu did.
Oh yeah, she did. She did say that.
Because we found that big honking spider.
Yeah, we did. We did find a big honking spider. To be fair, the spider left us alone and we left it alone, and then it disappeared. So they may have found it and got rid of it for us. I don't know.
Okay. I actually didn't know about the spider till right now, just for the record. That's
we do have a picture of it. I think you have a picture on your phone. Not a great picture.
It's going to become a tradition in my travel vlogs that I have to have at least one picture of a spider, because I have one in the Came to New York video too, because I almost got attacked by a
I can send it to you.
I mean, you can if you want to. I don't know that I'll include it, just because I know that there are people who watch my videos, hi AJ, that have severe arachnophobia.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I probably won't include it, but that's
Oh,
really
wah.
funny.
This is a village I would have loved to have spent more time in. We did have the option to take a tour of the village or do like a forest walk, and we chose to do a forest walk, which also was great, and I'm really glad we did it. But this village, if you were the type that needed to do some shopping and that kind of stuff, this definitely would have been the village to do that in.
The excursion they did go on was the Lake Minora Forest Walk, which is a hiking tour of the local forest and farms. They were led by 2 guides, the previously mentioned Alfeo and Moi Jabu, but she goes by Jabu for short.
Our first sight as we began our walk was baboons. Not being in a vehicle, we were a little apprehensive.
In fact, baboons were my biggest concern. Those sharp teeth little buggers, I was really concerned about them. So as we started our walk, I was on the lookout.
Very pretty country. Yes, it's gorgeous.
Okay, why do the baboons always get quiet when I start videotaping? Oop, hold on. Now I'm videoing. Sorry, I thought it was on photo. Hi, now you're being videoed. Hello.
Now I can say jumbo.
Jumbo.
5-second geology lesson. The cliff visible here is a portion of the Great Rift Valley. This is the commonly used name for the East African Rift, which is the divergent plate boundary extending from the Afar Triple Junction southward through eastern Africa. This plate boundary is in the process of splitting the African plate into 2 new separate plates.
I love bananas.
I can corroborate this for the record. It's been a morning ritual since I was a sentient child that every morning with breakfast, my mom has a banana. So much so, in fact, that when I moved out and they would come visit me, it was top of my grocery list to get bananas for my mom because I knew I would hear about it, or it would be stop number 1 after the airport if we didn't get one for her. So
At this point in the hike, I am extremely grateful for the shade of the large banana leaves. Alfeo and Jabu walked us through the life cycle of a banana, from its infancy to when they get their curve, to the final stage when they almost stop growing and the flower is cut so that the remaining energy flows directly to the bananas.
Watch where you're going. When you fall and hurt yourself, nobody's going to feel sorry for you.
I wanted to get a film of you, boy.
So you're filming me, filming you? Is that what's happening right now?
I actually wanted to get a video of you walking through your banana field.
I'm here. I do exist on the vacation.
It is.
Neat.
Yeah, it is.
Look at all the water coming out. Wow.
And the interesting fact is that bananas only produce bananas once, and then they cut down the entire tree. And then the stump is left there, so that all the water that's left in the stump actually goes into the new plant, which is growing down below. They also pick the bananas when they're still green. And the reason why they do that is so that the elephants and the baboons or any of the other critters don't get them, because they don't like them when they're green. As Jabu puts it, you trouble the trouble before it troubles you.
in addition to the bananas, this area grows all kinds of produce, including papaya, avocado, and spinach.
The farmers all live on site in what they refer to as mud huts, as seen here.
There's a lake out there. It looks like fog, but it's actually a lake. And there's a pool down there that Dad and I think are going to go make sure it's okay after lunch. Dad and I were in the pool earlier. I know there's lots of people in the pool. Obviously, we chose a good time.
We did spend a little time in this pool, and the overlook was great. After this, we had an early dinner because we did have a nighttime game drive tonight.
Night drives are really interesting because it gives you a chance to see the critters that are nocturnal and come out at night.
But not all the parks do the night game drives. Something challenging about this particular drive is taking footage. It was quite dark.
We have done our best with the footage that they were able to get, and it's mostly good. So we've included a lot of really excellent clips here. It's enough to at least give you a feel of what the night game drive was like.
This is also the only time we had an armed ranger with us.
For this, we're not going to narrate anything. We're just going to add text labels, but please enjoy the ambiance of the night game drive.
No, our pharmacist said you probably don't need it in Tanzania, but I'd recommend
Is that a hyena?
it. It is. It's a hyena.
Is he injured?
I don't know.
Or is he just
He's just relaxing.
He's just relaxing
Yeah.
in the road.
It's just relaxing.
Oh, you've made me move.
Maybe it had a lot of activity to do.
Than I thought.
You got 'em?
Yeah.
We have two types of bush babies in this park. We have a lesser bush baby and a greater bush baby. So this one here it's a greater, and this one it doesn't. Normally bush baby. This is the favorite food for the leopards.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
They like the impalas.
You see the ones laying down?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yep, you can see the horns. You see his white tail knife.
Oh, there is it.
Yeah. Right there. Oh, I think so.
What's the
I cannot believe you guys saw that. That is crazy.
Yeah, it's a good spotter that can spot it.
What did you?
This is big.
That's an owl.
Exchanging news this morning.
Today we started with a daytime drive through Lake Minyara.
Lake Minyara National Park was established in 1960. It has a total area of approximately 250 square miles and rests between Lake Minyara itself and the previously mentioned Great Rift Valley.
Fun fact, this rainforest is fed by underground springs as opposed to traditionally by rain.
Our first sighting was this troop of blue monkeys.
Okay, we have at least 5 blue monkeys here. There's one right there. I see him walking across the branch. And then there's another one that I saw.
However, our next sighting was very, very special. Lions are not seen a whole lot in this park, and male lions are especially not seen in this park. Puce had seen male lions here before, but he could not remember the last time.
Huh?
I'm in danger.
Over there. I see the big buffalo walking away. Okay, we've got a yellow-billed stork.
Now you can see a lot of trees have died.
Yes.
See a palm tree that is green.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yep.
This tells you why palm trees can grow even in the coast without dying. Because the coast has lots of salt because of the oceanic water.
Since this was the first time we'd seen zebras, I asked Puce if there had ever been an attempt to domesticate zebras. He explained that yes, there had been an attempt, but it was unsuccessful. They realized pretty quickly that the zebra backs were not particularly strong, so they could not carry people, and they could not be used as pack animals. Also, when they go to kick, they kick to kill. So attempts to domesticate them were quickly aborted.
Tortoise friend. He's going so fast.
Help is on the way, dear!
We run into a bush bug. There he is. On our way out of the park.
After Lake Minyara, our next stop was Ngora Ngoro. So that brought us to the Katella Lodge.
Something that seemed to be standard about every lodge that we went to was the amount of refreshments that we got. They always met you there with juice and some kind of a treat that you could eat. It was actually pretty cool.
Katella Lodge had beautiful grounds with even more banana trees growing, and to my delight, coffee.
And there's our little house that we could stay in for the next 2 nights. Here's the washroom. Oh, open. Oh my gosh. Did you look at the washroom? I think I might know what I'm doing this afternoon. Holy moly.
This lodge had something really unique. It actually had a changing room.
Something that Puce mentioned to us is that we could actually take a tour of a local coffee farm near our lodge. Given that I also drink coffee literally every morning, yeah, I wanted to do this.
Yeah, and apparently I had no say in it. We're doing it. Coffee. We lived in Seattle for 30 years, for crying out loud. I mean, come on.
For the record, I am also a coffee fiend. I mean, apparently I come by it honestly. But for the next 8.5 minutes, we focus pretty solely on this coffee farm. So if you're not super interested in the process of how they make coffee here and all of that stuff, you can go ahead and skip ahead to this timestamp and we'll get back into the safari stuff. But it is pretty interesting. I do encourage you to stick around. I found it really fascinating the whole way through, and I've shown the clip to some other people and they seem to like it as well.
Coffee bushes.
This is Filippo Safari, who owns and operates the farm, which is located near the village of Karatu. He's a second-generation coffee farmer, and the coffee they grow is Robusta coffee.
Nice.
Twanga, twanga, twanga kahawa, twanga, 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 twanga kahawa, twanga, twanga mpaka ive, twanga, 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 twanga kahawa, twanga, 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 twanga kahawa, twanga, twanga pole pole, twanga, 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 twanga kahawa, twanga, twanga mpaka ive, twanga, 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 yeah, twanga, 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 twanga kahawa, twanga. Twanga, twanga, twanga! Good try! Pepeta. Pepeta kahawa, pepeta. Pepeta, pepeta. So,
Oh, wow.
to take it out all, I have to put it again to smash it for second time. And then later all will look like this. And later there is one of the soft skin. It's go out after roasting.
It's
Hang on.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yep, I did.
So I do a medium roast for 40 minutes and the dark roast 45 minutes, light roast 35 minutes.
Okay, so not a whole lot of difference in
Yes,
time.
Only 5 minutes.
Only
can
5
make
minutes.
difference.
Okay.
Yes.
when you start roasting, there's no any smoke here. When it starts smoke, and it's a time it becomes ready. See?
Oh yeah.
Now it's look brown. Only 1 minute left. The good coffee.
It smells so good. Now this is fresh roasted coffee. I'm sorry, it will never be the same again. It will never be fresh roasted.
I'm better at turning the handle than I am.
Good job. You're doing excellent.
It will roasting because it takes a little bit longer to roast, like 40 minutes. If you're tired, you have to drink coffee. no beer.
So the roasting days are coffee days, yes.
Few seconds left.
Oh, look at
Yeah,
that.
I have to look. This is the good color for medium. So now, because the coffee is ready, so it's the time I cool down. I have to hold it like this. Then put all the coffee here.
Oh, wow.
Then, Chicago. Another song. Chekecha, 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 kahawa, chekecha, 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 kahawa, chekecha. So, still hot. So what I do,
Beautiful
I
coffee.
slowly. And you see down here,
Uh-huh.
there's a last shell. When you shake, all the last shell.
The last of the shells came off.
And, so the process of cooling is like 10 or 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It cools pretty quickly then.
Yes. 2 minutes I have to shake. 2 minutes I use this spoon.
Your dad started in 1996.
Yes.
So 20, almost 30 years.
Yes.
30 years exactly. This year, yeah. And you've gone from 1 acre to 10. Well, you have 5, and then
Yes.
you help with 5 other.
Yes.
Wow.
So now I am thinking to start coffee to the other village because of
You're going to franchise.
I have to start the coffee to the other village
Uh-huh.
because what I'm looking is just the source of water and
Okay.
to try first.
Okay.
So to try like 4 trees and then just look the 4 trees when it's grow well, I start to make more.
Okay.
Yes. So now it's okay because there is no more smoke. I have
Oh,
to leave it
okay.
here.
Oh.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then after here, I have to put I cover it here. And now you can smell coffee.
Oh man,
Mm.
that's great.
That is so nummy.
And then I have grinding machine here. I have to grind it. So I use the container here.
Yes, I saw her doing that a few minutes ago. And so that's how you seal it.
Yeah.
Clever. Clever, clever.
You need to hold this.
Right.
Wow.
And then make a little handle.
Oh, perfect.
That is so great.
That is great.
I love it.
And then later how to use this coffee. In here, I use the French press.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
The
you.
powder for French press.
Okay.
Boil the water. Put the hot water. Put the filter to the top. Wait 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, push
Press.
down. Then you drink coffee.
Just as a quick note here, I literally bought a French press because of this, because my parents brought home some of this coffee for me, and it was inappropriate to put it through a Keurig. So now I own a French press.
Do package beans, and when the customer sometimes need a grounded, I grind it fresh.
Fresh.
Because of I like to pack like this because the beans stay fresh for a long time. This one 9 months up to 1 year. This one 3 up to 5 months. We do have sewing machine. So Fausta, she make a baggy
Yes.
coffee bag.
You don't say.
Kitty. Kitty, kitty, kitty.
Yes. That's how we sell.
Perfect.
Something we didn't get footage of is their animal control. Pictured here is a stingless beehive. They are used to help pollinate the coffee. They also get honey from them. These ones are used right near the house, but outside the fencing where they need the animal control, they actually use African killer bees. The animals, wild animals, needless to say, do not like the killer bees, so the killer bees are able to pollinate the flowers and keep the animals away. I asked if the killer bees ever interacted with the stingless bees, and it turns out the killer bees are unable to fit into the stingless beehives. The stingless bees are very, very small.
After this, we really didn't get a lot of footage. We didn't get any footage of our food. We just had dinner and we called it a day. Today we're heading to Ngorongoro for the first time. And as you can see, it's a little rainy today. So actually we've been very lucky. We have had no rain whatsoever, as you'll see in our videos. But today's going to start out a little bit wet, but it's supposed to let up a little bit later this afternoon. Still going to be a good day regardless.
Dad stopped and said, oh, look the size of the snail. And yeah, this is a snail. Come put your foot beside it so we can see stinky big this snail is. Oh my God. That is so big. It's a really pretty shell. That's a snail right there. They have elephant snails here. The baboons are on the highway.
Wow, that is a big troop.
Holy moly.
He wanted to meet me.
Yeah, I saw
Yep.
that.
Not a good place.
Wow,
They're lined up right on the line.
So we're about to go into Ngorongoro.
Ngorongoro Conservation Area was originally part of Serengeti National Park. It split into its own entity in 1959. It's a giant volcanic caldera, usually referred to as a crater. Its total area is approximately 3,200 square miles, and it hosts over 500,000 visitors every year. According to Puce, it is the most visited park, at least among the ones my parents saw.
And as you can see, this is an extremely busy place.
Lots and lots and lots of people doing a game drive today here. Apparently we've been told the baboons are very aggressive here, and so our vehicle is locked up and we're told not to have any food on us, and if the baboons want something from us, we are to just let them have it. I haven't seen any baboons here in this parking lot, but we did see them just down the road on our way in here. Guide has to fill out some paperwork here before we can continue on. So we're making a brief stop. Woo! Chilly! Chilly, chilly.
Woo! It's chilly! Oh my goodness!
Here we're driving into the caldera on a cobblestone road that was hand-laid for safety reasons from 2020 to 2022, since the park wasn't being visited during that time.
Yeah, an interesting thing about Ngorongoro is that it has multiple ecosystems in it. It's got forests, it's got wetlands, and it's got savannas.
Seems to be a fairly large group of them.
Yeah.
These are older Cape buffalo that have been left behind by their herd. And off to the left, we saw some lions who had taken an interest and seemed to be stalking the weakened buffalo.
Oh, yeah. And you.
We're down in Ngorongoro. We've got tons of stuff going on right here. There's a zebra. There's elephant way out there. There is a rhino. There he is. But then we also have, way off in the distance, some wildebeest and more zebras and gazelle.
So, what are some things about Ngorongoro that make it unique?
First of all, the ecosystem having so much in one, fairly small space. Also, the animals there don't migrate. They stay there pretty much year round.
And that's because they have crater walls on the side of the caldera. They call it the Ngorongoro crater, but it's really a caldera.
And also we found out that it's kind of known as the Tanzanian zoo, and I can see why, because you can look out and see 3, 4, 5, 6 different species of animals just right there, all in one view.
Yeah, based on these clips, it looks like that there's just a lot of like plains kind of atmosphere, and so you can just kind of see for miles and be able to see all
You
the
absolutely
birds.
can.
Which you
It was
can,
amazing.
and then there's also a forested area as well, which was really cool.
This was one of the designated areas where we were actually allowed to get out of the vehicle. It was a picnic area where we had lunch.
These food trucks were set up there since this spot is a staple amongst the tours.
As luck would have it, there were some hippos in a nearby pond.
After lunch, we were allowed to wander down by the pond and watch the hippos.
So, what's going through your mind standing at the edge of a hippo pond?
I had read before we went to Africa that the animal that kills the most people in Africa are the hippos. And here I am watching hippos, which are about 15 or 20 feet away from me in the water.
I'm actually thinking, what kind of ice cream do they serve at the trucks?
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Holy smokes, look at them all.
Mom's taking care of us at the side of the pond. I'm good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So he's off getting ice cream, and I'm being chased by
Good
hippos.
luck.
Yeah.
What flavor do you want?
So far, you've seen 4 of the big 5. We've got elephants, lions, Cape buffalo, and now black rhinos. All you're missing is a leopard. How confident was Puce that you would find one?
He was cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, because not all tours get to see the big 5. Most of them do, but not all of them do. So we were keeping our expectations tempered. We got wildebeest running.
That is so cool. Are you freaking kidding me?
So this is a group of females.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as we were leaving Ngorongoro, we have to travel back through the forested area again. And as we entered the forested area, we saw a bunch of safari vehicles all lined up in a row there. Puce, our guide, stopped and asked the first driver what everybody was looking at. And he said they were looking at birds, taking pictures of the birds. So we thought, well, okay. And we continued on, and a couple, 3 more vehicles down, our driver pulled over again and asked that driver what they were looking at. And this time the answer was a leopard. So Puce kind of got a weird look on his face because this was all in Swahili. And then he turned to us and he says, they spotted a leopard. At which point I stood up immediately and Dad looked over that way. And that's when he spotted the leopard right away. He saw it in the crook of this tree right away. I couldn't see it. I could not see the darn thing. It was really making me mad. I had my camera up. I was ready to take a photo. I couldn't see it. Finally, I focused in on it. I got the camera up. I snapped a quick picture, which I knew because I was moving was going to be blurry. And then the leopard got up and started to walk away. Dad quickly videotaped it. I quickly snapped 2 more pictures, and that was our leopard experience. But it was still really cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
It's really brief in the video, but it was
really cool. I really wish I would have spotted it sooner, but I mean, you can tell in the photo, he blends in really well. He, she, I'm not sure which, blends into its environment very well.
So you said you were on your way out of the park when this happens. Do you guys have
Right.
any closing thoughts on Ngorongoro?
This was the park that we saw the most variety of animals all at one time.
Yeah, if you only have a limited amount of time in Tanzania and you can only pick one of those parks that we saw, go to Ngorongoro. You won't see every animal, but you'll see a lot of them, and you'll see them quickly. You'll see them in one day, easily.
Thursday signified our last morning at Katella Lodge. We started with an excellent breakfast spread, including made-to-order eggs, any juice you could want, and more.
Then we headed to the Serengeti, which required us to go through Ngorongoro again.
Something we mentioned earlier was the Maasai tribe. This is an example of one of their villages located in Ngorongoro. The Maasai live on the land between Ngorongoro and Serengeti, as well as in both parks. They are the only people allowed to live within those areas. Then we made a rest stop that had significance for Rick.
This was a special treat for me because when I was in college, I wrote a paper on Australopithecus afarensis. This stop was the cradle of humanity. This is where bipeds first started.
Their next stop was Serengeti National Park. Serengeti was established in 1940 and is approximately 5,700 square miles in size, which makes it the largest park that my parents visited during this trip. It is also well known for playing host to the largest animal migration in the world.
As you can tell, the landscape is much more arid and even dustier than before. My first impression of the park was to want to go back to the forest. The reason the landscape is so different is because Serengeti sits in the rain shadow of Ngorongoro crater.
Yeah, it is a little more arid, but we continued to see animals. Case in point, lions.
Oh, there's a cub. Hold on. There's a cub right in that tree right there. Straight out to he's just kind of laying in a little crotch of that tree right here down low. You won't see him. Stand up.
So can I just try going around?
Shh, sure. He's right there. See him?
Oh, yes. Let's try going around.
Okay.
We'll come back.
She's calling. Oh, you're not gonna get a great view of him. Oh, yeah, look at that. I honestly didn't think you'd see him. Oh, there's a bunch of them down there. Holy mackerel.
Now this is special.
Yeah.
Seeing baby lions is very.
It's a little tough to see on the video. You can see them moving around. There's cubs.
From the window you can see them.
Oh, it is. Oh, that is so cool. We're trying to find hyenas. Man, oh man, I gotta quit talking.
Cheetahs.
She does. Jeez. We are trying to find cheetahs, and so we're having lunch on the road.
Hyena right there, though.
Yep, right straight in front of us.
One of them is thoroughly unconcerned.
Yeah.
cheetahs are near endangered within Serengeti, so this seems like it was a really cool experience for you guys. Is there any specific procedures that the guides followed around animals that are lower population?
When we first spotted the cheetah, she is quite a ways off the actual road. There were a couple of other land cruisers sitting there, and we pulled up. Our 3 guides all kind of looked at each other, and then through the grass we went to get closer to the cheetah. We each took our turns kind of like in front of the cheetah, and we just kind of drove around her at a respectable distance, but we kind of drove around her. We all took our photos, and within 3 or 4 minutes, we left. We did not spend hardly any time with her at all. And then Puce explained that because their numbers are so low, he said there's only about 150 of them in the park. They really don't want to bring attention to them, because if the lions are attracted to them, the lions will kill them, because the lions see them as competition for food. Crossy.
Yep. Watch him walk right down the road. I can't believe I said it out loud.
Oh, no, you're just hanging out there.
Looking for water.
Looking for water.
Yes.
Are you kidding? Twice in one day. Ooh.
Meet Bob's boys. Bob was a dominant lion that all the guides were familiar with. After male lions grow old enough, usually the dominant lion will chase them away from the pride. Puce believes these 4 are Bob's sons that do not have prides of their own yet. Bob has since passed, and another lion has taken over the pride. These lions are recognizable because of the distinctive dark color in their manes, which matches what Bob's look like.
One of the things that we learned was that when lions yawn, they're about to get up and do something. And that was consistent. Every time they did, they got up and they walked.
These clips are a perfect example of that.
You're getting really up close and personal with most of these animals, and they seem perfectly comfortable with you. How?
First of all, the animals are very, very used to the land cruisers, and they know that the land cruisers pose no danger. The other thing we learned was that the parks are all set up with certain zones. There are zones where lodges can be built and plumbing and electricity can be used. And then there are zones where there are roads, where there are vehicles allowed, but people are not allowed to get out of the vehicles. And then there are other zones where there are no people and no roads, and the animals are free to go anywhere in the park. So when we're getting close to the animals, just know the animals have other places they can go and be where there are no people. So they are choosing to be in these areas, and since the people and the vehicles are not a threat, they have simply grown accustomed to them.
Oh, really?
Okay, real quick. See right here how my mom is hanging on so nicely? My dad was not doing that, and, yeah, so he ran full force into the side of the vehicle there, and when we were editing this video, his arm was still bruised.
Our lodge for the next 3 nights was a tented lodge, so we had our own cabin that was wood framed, but the walls were almost entirely canvas.
Yeah, we have windows that were just screens that were velcroed on, and we did have drapes that we could close, but other than that, we were open.
We also had an outdoor shower here, which was a new experience for us. However, it was really cool. We had an excellent view overlooking the Serengeti, and at this point, the landscape was much greener since we were mostly out of the rain shadow. After showering and exploring, we had dinner. As you can see, it was getting quite dark outside, which meant we needed an escort. This was our escort for the evening, and while we didn't catch his name, you can see that he's armed with a traditional Maasai spear and wearing a vast amount of red.
Red is the traditional color of the Maasai warriors when they go out hunting. So much so that the lions learned that when they see red, that means danger. And so they avoid it.
We're all getting ready to get on the balloon. Sun is beginning to rise, and the balloons are right over there. I will get video of them in a bit.
There are a lot of people in this photo. Who are they and why do we care?
These people we actually met on the plane coming into Tanzania, into Kilimanjaro. This couple was sitting next to me, and I got to chatting them up. And it turns out that their whole family, 16 of them, are going on safari because his mom turned 80 a year ago, and this was a bucket list item for her, so they decided they're taking the whole family, and they're going on safari.
When we got off the plane in Kilimanjaro, we spent another hour with this family as we went through customs. So we got to chat some more, and then we said goodbyes and we went our separate ways.
Only to run into them again in Tarangire. We're driving up, Pierce and the other driver are talking. While we're sitting there, all of a sudden we hear a lady go, "Hey, I know you. You guys were on the plane with us."
And then we went to our coffee tour. And as we got out of our Land Cruiser for the coffee tour, we hear a woman exclaim, "Oh my God."
Oh my God!
And yes, I recognized her voice immediately. And again, it was the family. We chatted for a bit and we laughed and we hugged, and again, we said goodbye and went our separate ways.
So then we get to the balloon ride. I'm going up to get coffee, and all of a sudden somebody goes, "Hey, I can't believe you guys are here." And I turn and look, it's the family again. And we're like, oh my God, we've got to absolutely get a picture after this is over, because the universe clearly wants us to be together.
For the record, there are many, many balloon companies in the Serengeti, and for them to choose the same balloon company and the same day again was just too much to believe.
Well, and this is also, the balloon ride wasn't a pre-booked excursion that you guys decided
No.
to do. You
No.
mentioned it as a hey, you can do this if you want
Yes.
to, and you booked it like the day before, maybe 2 days before.
A couple days
Yeah.
before, yeah, because they told us about it. We kind of talked about it for a day or so. Is this something we really want to do? And then we decide, yeah, let's do it. And yeah, there they were again.
That's so crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was very crazy. So we decided at that point that at the breakfast, which comes after the balloon ride, we were definitely going to get a photo with them. And so here they are. We're their adopted children now, apparently, our adopted family.
Mom's Facebook friends with Stacy?
Yes. So,
Nice.
hi, guys.
Hi.
Thank you for befriending my parents. When I picked them up from the airport when they returned, your story was the first one that they told me. So you made an impression for sure.
Where are we going?
Ballooning this morning. It's going to be great fun.
Okay. You just
When you get into a hot air balloon, you have to get in lying on your back in a seated position. The balloon then pulls you up as it inflates. We weren't allowed to take any videos during this because it's highly likely you'll drop something, and we had to tuck away everything, including people with long ponytails having to tuck their hair into their shirts.
Holy zebra.
Look right below us here. Right below us.
This is a lot better than pumpkin cheeks.
Big buffalo. Look at them all.
Oh no, it's not that actually.
C'est le bruit du brûleur qui les affole. À chaque fois qu'il allume. Each time he fires,
They were.
run from us. They're afraid. Big
Warthog.
factor,
Warthog,
Yeah.
huh?
big pig.
Oh.
Il court entre les arbres. Vous voyez? Il est sous
Yeah.
les arbres en fait. Ah, il est là, il va vers nous.
Are those hyenas?
That's what that was.
There he is,
There
right
he
there.
goes.
Got him.
Hyena.
I got him. There's a hyena. Finally got one running. We've seen several.
During our pre-flight safety talk, our pilot explained there are 3 types of landings. There's the Hollywood landing, the basket comes down gently and stays upright, no problem. And then there's the other landing where the basket comes down, but because there's a little wind, the basket gets tipped over. And then there's the other landing, which he calls the "oh my god, we're going to die" landing. The basket comes down, is tipped over, and then you get dragged along for a short distance. So as we're coming in for our landing, our pilot warned us it was going to be landing number 3.
Yeah, and it was landing number 3, but it wasn't that bad. We survived.
Do you think it would have been scarier had he not warned you?
Oh, it definitely would have been scary. You
100%.
had not warned us, yeah. And it was kind of funny because I don't think any of us really got scared, but we definitely, as we bounced along a little bit, on the second bounce, we all kind of went, oh, you know, kind of, all 16 of us were like, all right, got it.
Like when the power goes out when you were in school and everybody screams for
Yeah.
no reason.
yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like that.
The screams of terror might have been entertaining, though, if you hadn't told us.
Can we say thank you to our team, please?
Thank you, team!
This is Vladim. He was their pilot for the morning. He's originally from Slovakia, and he seemed to be quite experienced and possibly one of the head pilots. It seemed like he was giving directional coordinates and instruction to the other pilots during the flight.
This is very last part of our flight because every balloon flight is not ending with a happy landing and the champagne toast. First hot air balloon was invented in France in 1783 by brother Montgolfiers. 21st of November 1983, 2 people, well, Montgolfier just invented a balloon, but they probably weren't brave enough to fly. So there were 2 volunteers, Mr. Pilatre de Rosière and Mr. Arlandes. Yes, there were 2 first humans who flew in hot air balloon. So they took off from Versailles and they landed in the village. When the local people, villagers, seeing that some big thing that they were never seen in their lives approaching them, they thought it's a dragon. So they were just ready to fight with the dragon. But as soon as those 2 gentlemen landed, they took with them a bottle of champagne. So they just step out of the basket and they just say, "Oh, no worries guys, we came from the king, so we are not enemies." So that's why they took with them the champagne. So that's why we drink champagne after every landing.
Oh, so close.
This is something we experienced at every lodge or function after getting out of the Land Cruisers. In this case, we were arriving at a breakfast that was provided as part of the balloon excursion. They greeted us with towels to wipe down with, since you are almost always quite dusty when traveling around in these areas. Something else fun about this particular excursion is the loo with a view, which is a toilet, fully plumbed, sitting on a pile of rocks with a view of the Serengeti.
The wildebeest herd has increased in size since last night. And there's more coming.
Okay, next time I hear the thunder start again. They seem louder tonight. I think there's more of them. Oh yeah, there's definitely more of them because they go clear out there. I mean, as far as the eye can see, it's wildebeest everywhere.
Yeah, there really is.
So cool. Our second to the last night here in the Serengeti. We're getting a little bit of a thunderstorm. And what will hopefully be a gorgeous sunset all at the same time. Here are all of the balloons launching. We did that yesterday. And I have to say, today is much cooler and windier, so I think we picked the better day to do it.
See that right there? That's a hippo.
Yes, and Puce has just told us that we're not going to be driving any closer because this is a time when hippos can be really dangerous. That's fine. Yes. I'm good at using my telephoto. It's all good.
A hippo train. See him working?
One more step.
Oh, I thought they were going to get close to him. No. We were going to get to see a hippo attack.
That's what I was saying yesterday. This is going to be interesting to see how he gets up that.
I hadn't really looked at that.
It just climbs right up. Good job, Toyota. Good job, driver.
And Puce, yeah, exactly.
These are two lions that Puce said were on their honeymoon. Lions in this phase will mate every 20 to 30 minutes for like 4 days. The interaction will be initiated by the female, and we saw what looked like that happening here.
But after seeing this, Puce was fairly certain that the male lion was injured in some way, most likely while hunting this Cape buffalo that we saw earlier.
Puce has seen this particular pride of lions grow since they were cubs. He was able to tell us at the time of recording they were 1 year, 3 months old.
Trust me, you're lucky we don't have smell-o-vision, because this pond was stinky.
Puce mentioned that they have to dredge it every 4 to 5 years to get rid of the poo because the hippos will eventually leave and they have no place else to go. So it's actually essential to clean it out.
To your knowledge, is there anything else that humans interfere with, quote unquote, in the parks, or is it pretty much all left to nature?
It is pretty much all left to nature, to our knowledge. The only other thing that I heard mentioned is there are a few airstrips in the park, and they do have to go out and clear off the runways anytime a plane is due to come in or due to take off. So that is one thing, they can't be on the runways. But other than that, we didn't hear of anything else.
It is Wild Kingdom.
got them on this side and over here.
Our last morning, and some impalas decided to come say goodbye. Most of those have moved on, but this morning we do have another trail. So I was outside having coffee, and I looked over to my right, and they were the Maasai, and they were standing here looking out. And I asked if I could take their picture, and they said, yeah, sure, but look, there's a lion. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get it on the video camera because they are out there a ways. But not only is there a lion, there's an entire pride of lions. Oh, it just wiped in the ditch. Oh, there they go. I got them. Lions. See, we're not kidding. They're right there. You can see them walking. Okay, here we go again. I think they're all right there. I think. There's a bunch kind of grouped on the left-hand side, and then there's several individuals as you move to the right. And there's a wildebeest standing right there looking at him. Yeah. Wow. Okay, one last look across the Serengeti. And the lions are still down there somewhere. They're resting, hunkered down. We did get to see one pop up again, briefly. And across here, that's where the beautiful sun rises. There's the pool. The balloons get launched from that direction. Oh, so beautiful. We're gonna miss Africa.
As we were driving to the airstrip within the park, we did one last short game drive with Puce, who said the animals were coming to say goodbye to us.
Okay. Yep.
Yep. And on a little bit just so people see where we're looking.
There, I got him. Oh.
He's right there on that little peninsula. We didn't grab any pictures of them because they were low and we've seen many, many lions. But there's some wildebeest. And literally, within less than 100 yards, there is a pride of lions from these guys.
The airstrip was organized chaos, and we were immensely grateful for Puce helping navigate it. And we said our tearful goodbye.
That's, oh, okay, I'm videotaping them. Here's our boarding passes. Say goodbye.
Goodbye. And then we began our 38-hour trip home, and Puce began his 9-hour drive back to Arusha.
Our journey home was almost an exact reversal of our journey in, with the exception of an added plane ride from the Serengeti to Arusha.
Just for the record, the next 20 minutes of recording are basically a podcast. We cover some final thoughts about the trip and go over some details about how to book and talk about some top moments and all of that stuff. So if you're not super interested in seeing something like that, you can go ahead and stop watching here. But I do recommend that you continue watching because, again, it's a little bit more of an organic conversation and feels more like a podcast. Thanks. Is there anything that y'all want to talk about that we didn't really get a chance to in the video?
Yeah, actually, one of the things that we did was we actually learned some of the language. We learned some Swahili words. There's 8 of them, actually, that we learned. Asante is, what is Asante? Thank you.
I was like, I hope it's thank you. Yes, thank you. Jumbo, which is hi.
Oh,
Hi.
you're bumping the cord.
Sorry.
I think somebody is, at least.
I think it was me.
Yeah.
Jumbo, which is hi.
Karibu, which is you're welcome. It actually means welcome.
Yeah.
Or you're welcome.
Or you're welcome.
Both of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're the one that learned them
Poli
all.
Poli.
Poli, oh yes, Poli Poli. That was funny. That means slowly, slowly. And Jabu, as we were hiking, we were coming down. It was kind of steep in some areas, and we were tripping. And Dad did actually manage to fall once. It was quite
I
entertaining.
didn't know that until now. What? That's so good.
And the worst part about it is it was on the flat, and I just happened to hit a muddy spot. And beep, down I went.
Yeah, we were walking alongside just a
Everybody
little
laughed.
ditch, and of course he hit the mud and went whoop, and slid
Down
right
it
down.
goes Fraser.
If it makes you feel any better, I definitely almost biffed it on some sidewalk in almost exactly the same way at D&D while you guys were in Africa. So maybe we were like mind
Hey,
connected.
that was it. That's it. You and me.
But yeah, Pole Pole, which is slowly, slowly.
Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata, that is an actual thing.
It means no worries.
No worries.
Yep.
Yep. I thought it was made up by Disney. Turns out it's not.
Nope.
Disney
Uh,
actually does a pretty good, like, as much as, Disney has its problems, they do a pretty good job with the research on their films.
They do.
That
They
was
do.
good. Yep.
Lala Salama.
Which I don't remember what
Good
it
night.
means. Oh, good night. Okay.
Good night.
Yes, that's when you struggled with for a long time.
I did.
That and good night and good morning.
Good morning, which is Habari za Sabui. Is Habari za
It's
Sabui.
Zasabui.
Habari za Sabui.
Got it.
Which is good morning. Actually, I said that to a guy as we were walking down to the lodge. I'm like, Habari za Sabui. And he's like, blah, blah, blah. He started speaking to me in Swahili. And I go, dude, I only know like 7 words,
Yeah.
man.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
And the other one that we didn't use much, but we did learn was, I wrote it down, tafadali, which is please.
Oh, okay.
We didn't use
You didn't,
that.
of all the words you didn't use, a lot was Tafadali.
It was tafadali.
Please.
Yes. No, because you didn't have to. The service was so good
Oh my gosh.
that they were just there all the time. And if, in fact,
Especially, I mean, this everywhere
talked
we
about
had
it in
great
the
service.
video.
But in SOPA, yeah, literally they brought you stuff before you realized you needed it. We were having lunch. I went to grab a dessert, and they have a special little dessert spoon that fits into the container, and I forgot to grab one. As I sat down at my table, I realized I forgot to grab it. I went to stand up as the lady set it down in front of me. She saw me, realized I didn't get one, brought it to me before I even knew I needed it.
Asante. We
That's
said that a million times.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's
It was-
really good.
it
I
was
mean,
amazing.
that's a really good indicator of like the
Yeah.
quality of the
service
hotels
was
and stuff.
amazing.
And we
Yeah.
would encourage anybody who's traveling internationally that to learn a little bit of the language. 7, you would be surprised how thrilled they were that these 7 words were being used. When I said Habari za Sabui, after learning it 2 minutes before, there was a guy that was walking by one of the servers, and I just went just to try it out. Habari za Sabui, and he snapped his head around and goes, "How do you know that?" And I'm like, "She taught me 2 minutes ago."
Yeah.
So yeah, no, they love it. So
Yeah.
I would encourage people to learn a little bit.
I don't think I've ever heard of. I mean, obviously, the only place I've traveled internationally is England, so they speak English.
That's some form of it.
Some
yes.
form of it, yeah. But I don't think I've ever heard of anybody in any sort of experience ever that when you go to a different country and you try to learn their language and then you try to use it with them, that they're like unhappy about it for some
Correct.
reason, right? It's almost always
The
like,
French, maybe.
yeah. Jesus.
I was literally not going to say that.
But here, I'll qualify here. Maybe there are cultures out there that like don't really appreciate it, right? But most of the time I feel like, I was learning Japanese, for example, and like whenever I would use it with Japanese people living in Washington, because there's a pretty big, population in Seattle, they were ecstatic that I knew anything,
Yeah.
even though I was speaking at a kindergarten level,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Exactly.
Let's say somebody comes out of this video going, man, I have to experience this. How would somebody book a trip like this? Or can you at least take us through the process that you guys used to book it?
We
Call
have,
Mom.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
don't
you-
call me.
45.
Yeah, thank you. We have been on a couple of other tours. So there was a tour company that we were comfortable with, but they didn't do tours to Africa. However, we get their mailings all the time. And one of the mailings they sent out was from the company Globus, who does go to Africa. So I knew they were somewhat affiliated with the company we had used before. So I felt comfortable looking into Globus. So we started to look into Globus, and everything we saw about them seemed to be really good. They had a variety of different tours we could take in Africa. They had the independent tour, which is the independent private tour. There's two different things. Anyway, they had a tour that looked great to us. It was private, so I knew it would either be just the two of us or a very, very small group, which is what we wanted if we were going to Africa. So we took a leap of faith and we booked it through them. And everything before we went on the trip seemed to be very, very well organized. They even have a website that you can go to link you to get your visa. So that was great. So we did that. And then they send you a pre-packet with detail of, where you're going, which is pretty standard with most tours. So we had all that. And I mean, the moment we stepped out of the airport into the parking lot, there was somebody there with our names, met us, took us to our hotel, and we were very well taken care of the entire time.
That was the thing that actually caught me a little bit off guard, because I was expecting, Globus, because that's whenever we've traveled with a tour group, it's always been image tours, because that's who we've used in the past.
Right.
Nope. Greenfields.
In fact, I didn't even see our name because I was looking for Globus. I went right by our name, and luckily Dad saw it. He's like, "Oh, Greenfield, that's us." And yeah. So yeah, from that moment on, we were completely taken care of, and it was a fantastic trip.
And Globus doesn't actually do the tour, though. They book through a different tour company.
Correct. Well, they book through a local company, Ranger Safaris. So from my understanding, Globus actually owns part of Ranger Safaris. So, and then our particular guide said that he had to go through special training with Globus to become a Globus guide.
In addition to the training he had to do for Ranger Safaris.
Okay, so they have like an additional, like the Globus ones specifically have like extra certifications and stuff like that to guarantee that you're getting
extra training.
Yeah.
You do have to go through the Globus training.
Yeah.
Even
if it's like an internal certification, right? But
correct.
They have to get this, whatever this training is.
Right.
That's cool.
To drive for Globus. But yeah, we had a great experience with them, and we're looking at actually taking future trips through Globus.
Very cool.
So they were good.
I was gonna say, it seems like they took pretty good care of you. I know that like there was a little bit of nerves going into the trip, and because it is so different, and it's different from like, because you guys have traveled all over Europe now and stuff. And,
right.
We've been, to Canada and things like that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think traveling to Europe, most places in Europe, it's just kind of like visiting a cousin of the United States. Everything's very, very familiar.
Yeah.
A few things are a little bit different, but it's pretty much a familiar lifestyle. And we knew that Africa would be very different. And we were a little bit nervous about that, just not knowing. I mean, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So, but having been there now, our guides were fantastic. Everyone was extremely friendly. Everybody spoke English. And it was just a really, really comfortable trip.
Yeah, and actually, if you're going to go to Africa, you want to go on safari or someplace like that, I would recommend Tanzania, because Tanzania, Swahili is their official language, but everybody speaks English, because they start teaching kids when they're in grade school to speak English.
Very
so
cool.
It's really easy to get around.
Yeah.
So now that we do know things and we know what we didn't know, coming into this trip, what are some things that you maybe would have done differently, or some advice that you can give to people that are looking to go on this trip for the first time that you wish you could have gotten before you went?
We specifically looked for information on tipping, because it seems to be kind of different everywhere we go. And we really couldn't find a lot of information. The only information we found was tipping for our particular guide, that, how much we should be tipping that person. And so we were perfectly prepared to do that, but that was it. And when we got there, we realized pretty quickly that the other complication we ran into is right before we left, we found out that the Tanzanian government had put through a law that only their shilling was accepted as payment, and they weren't going to be accepting the American dollar anymore. And we're like, well, crud. Okay. what do we do now? And it was suggested to us that we just withdraw a small amount of shillings when we arrived at the airport. So anyway, we get there, we have enough dollars on us to tip our particular driver. Well, it turned out everybody that helped us in any way, shape, or form was expecting a tip. And so we were running very low on cash very, very quickly, and they were still accepting the dollar. And so one of the things we had to do mid-trip was go to a bank ATM and withdraw some money, which, yeah, there's a shilling.
I'll put it in front of the camera over here.
Which, not a big deal, except that, you know, I can't even remember what the exchange rate is. That there, 10,000 shillings is worth between $3.50 and $4.
As of time of recording.
As of time of recording, at least, yes. So we had to go to an ATM and we had to withdraw shillings because we couldn't get dollars. So we had to withdraw shillings, and then we did the rest of our tipping then in shillings, and did manage to have enough to tip everybody something. But
this is the smallest bill we could get.
Yeah.
Out of the
10,000
shilling.
Well, it was like the only bill we got.
Yeah.
So when we withdrew $140 worth of shillings, we got a stack of bills like that out of the ATM.
And we had to do twice.
We had to get the money to get enough money, you know, the equivalent to tip people.
It seems like, because I know that you guys mentioned that they have like bathroom attendants in most places and things like that, right? And so
if anybody does anything for you, bathroom attendants, anything.
Yeah, they expect
they are
and
expecting a tip.
It sounds like they're okay with like really small denominations of tip,
yes,
but they want something.
Yes, and they are still accepting American dollars. Yeah. So going forward, you know, had we known this, we would have had much more American dollar cash on us.
And just like singles.
Small bills, like lots of singles, lots of fives.
Because a bathroom attendant, you give them a one.
Yeah, and they're
cool. You're fine.
Or
yeah.
somebody, you know, helps you with your luggage, you give them a couple of dollars.
Well, that was the other thing too, is our driver, our specific driver, Pews,
or Emmanuel, okay.
or Emmanuel, they would help us with our luggage. Well, when we arrived at the Arusha airport, no, there was another gentleman there. So I had withdrawn an additional amount of money to tip our driver. Mm-hmm. But no, another gentleman helped us with our luggage from the airport into the car, even though our driver was there. And so we were expected to tip him. Yeah.
And just so you know, yes, it was kind of a pain. Had we been prepared for it, it would not have been a big deal. The only other thing that I would mention that we would have done a little bit differently, we packed pretty light anyway. We didn't even need to pack as much as we did. When you're going on safari, especially if you're going on a trip like what we took, you can take shirts like this and just rinse them out and hang them up, let them dry. A couple of days later, the animals don't care what you're wearing. So
actually, they do. You have to wear muted colors. Don't wear red.
Don't wear red. Don't wear black.
That attracts the flies.
Yeah. So don't wear dark colors.
So lots of earth tones.
Yeah. Yes. And blue jeans, try to stay away from those. Try to wear something.
You don't want blue jeans. Lightweight clothing. Yeah.
With something like, for example, like for me, I really like skinny jeans and stuff like that. Would something like a yoga pant or something be okay?
As long as it's not black.
Yeah, as long as it's not black.
As long as it's not black. But I don't know if you want like tight. You want something that's really breathable.
Got it.
So yeah, definitely really breathable.
Cool. All right. So one of the things that I did at the end of my England videos, go watch them, is I did a top 5 moments, and I did actually rank my moments, but I think for you guys, I'll just say in no particular order, what were the top 5 things that you did on this trip?
Every close encounter we had with the animals was amazing. I think, so those are like my top 5s is the animal encounters. Specifically, the mom elephant with her baby, the second ones where we got to spend a lot of time with them because she just kind of hovered right by the vehicle for several minutes. And I videoed almost all of it. I mean, we had to cut the video down because it was just so long.
We actually didn't. That whole video is, we did a little bit, but like, it's almost all in there.
Quite a lot of it is in there. But it was amazing just watching this little elephant, you know, trying to figure out how to use its trunk. And it was just so much fun. And the mom elephant was so close. She literally could have reached her trunk out and touched us if she had wanted to, you know. And so that was just an amazing moment. Seeing all the cubs, that was incredible. Yeah. I think the other thing I was thinking about is for some reasons I seem to become particularly attached to the giraffes. I don't know why, But it was just amazing. Every time we saw one, I was so excited, and I probably snapped more pictures of giraffes than I did anything else.
Pierce actually mentioned you seem to really like the giraffes.
Yeah.
Because snap, snap, snap.
I don't, they just seemed so curious about us. They were just so fun. It was just so fun to see them every single time.
Yeah.
I think. Well, the other thing for me, I think, was the balloon ride, because we hadn't planned
100%.
it. It was not something we were looking forward to for a really long time. And then when we actually got to do it, it was incredible. It was amazing as we were on the flight. For some reason, all 16 of us just got really quiet all at the same time. And I think we all just went, wow, it's so quiet. You know, we were just,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, because when you're in the vehicle, even when Puce turns off the vehicle, you still hear some like clicking and stuff like that of like
Right.
different systems or whatever turning off and on or whatever. And so like I feel like the balloon gives you this kind of unique moment where it's just kind of the natural noises of what's around. You
Right.
know?
And a different view.
Yeah. So yeah, that was really cool and special.
No, for me, it was first time we spotted that lion, the first lion we saw. Dude, that was awesome. That really was incredible, especially because we were so close. If she was really full. She was not jumping anywhere. If she wanted to, she could have jumped right into her vehicle. She was that close. It was really cool. I was really impressed with the accommodations in this, and we've mentioned this before. The service there is impeccable, and the food was absolutely fantastic. I really liked learning some of the language. That was really fun. We mentioned that earlier. Being at the Cradle of Humanity, which that was a big thrill for me. But the last one that I would say for me was watching Mom walk through her banana forest. That was fun. She was really having a good time in there. And Jabu and Alfeo were just fantastic.
They were funny. Jabu especially she was really cute and funny.
She was hilarious. And so all of our guides were, and we do want to do a shout out to our guide Puce as well, because he literally he took care of us the entire time, did an absolutely fantastic job.
Yeah. I know we're going to try to get him the video once it's done too. So if you're seeing this, Puce, hello. Thank you for taking care of my parents. Yeah, excellent. If you could encapsulate your trip to Africa in like a phrase or a few words or a single word, what would you use?
Well, I think it comes from the quote that we put up at the beginning of this video. It was life-changing. It was life-changing.
Yeah.
I can't add any more to that. Read that first quote. That's what this trip was.
Yeah. All right.
Go to Africa.
Go to Africa. Sponsored by Africa. The whole continent. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have enjoyed editing it. If you like this content, please make sure to subscribe because it does really help my channel. I will be coming out with some more bookish videos in the future. Again, I promise. I have 2 that are on the back burner right now. But otherwise, travel vlogs and doing other fun stuff like this will be figured out on this channel as well. So thanks again so much for watching, and I hope you are practicing safe text. Bye.